Welcome to the Virtual Strategic Solutions Virtual Reality Simulation System. Accessing Legacy Dataset. Files loaded, simulation ready. Necropolis, also known as the City of the Dead, is a ghoul city within the remains of Bakersfield, located in Southern California. Constructed under the sprawling metropolis of Bakersfield, Vault 12 was built with every amenity in mind for the prospective vault dweller, and that it had been fitted with the newest in vault water purification systems. Able to take even the waste located in the sewers of Bakersfield, this system is able to deliver over 15,000 gallons of pure, refreshing drinking water every day. Those who signed on for this particular vault took their preparedness very seriously, earning the Pressed Vault Suit Award for their efforts. The vault's true purpose, however, was to study the effects of radiation on the residents. To ensure this, Vault-Tec designed the vault door not to close. On October 23, 2077, the populace of Bakersfield learned that the other vaults had been sealed. In desperation, they took to their local shelter, forcing their way in to protect themselves and their families. The door worked as designed. The radiation flooded in. Those who survived suffered from ghoulification. In the summer of 2083, the survivors would leave the shelter. Those that chose to stay founded the city of Necropolis. By the spring of 2084, Set took control of Necropolis, wresting control from the original overseer, who fled north and was lost to history. For the next 73 years, Set would lead the city, unmolested by outside parties. Instead, internal political strife caused some to leave, while a much more peaceful group was forced to take shelter underground. Despite Set's disgust for the group, he reluctantly sent them whatever water they needed, fearful that he wouldn't have enough people to defend the city if it ever needed to be. In February of 2162, the Vault Dweller recovered the water chip in Necropolis, but Ian was killed by a super mutant and reduced to a cinder during the fight. In March of the same year, the mutant army attacked Necropolis out of vengeance for some mutants that the Vault Dweller killed. This forced most of the ghouls to flee, and those who stayed were not spared. The scattered survivors of Necropolis led the Great Migration across the wastes, leading to the founding of towns such as Gecko, Dayglow, and Broken Hills. Set is the leader of Necropolis, styling himself as the leader of the entire ghoul community. In reality, he is under the control of the Unity, with Harry posted to keep watch for regular humans and Set on a leash. Set is accompanied by a stalwart bodyguard at all times. Considered a total bastard even before the war, by his own son no less, he was twisted by radiation after Vault 12 failed. It barely affected his already bad temper and sense of authority. After Necropolis was founded by Vault survivors in 2083, Set took control within a year. The displaced overseer fled north, rather than be killed by the newly crowned king. With the town under his thumb, Set turned it into a haven for ghouls, a place where they could live in peace. Naturally, only those who would accept his leadership and obedience, as Set will accept nothing less than total control. Even those who follow him fear his temper and punishments for stepping out of line. While his tyrannical tendencies make him incompetent in the eyes of dissidents, Set does make sure everyone receives a fair ration of water to keep them alive. This includes the ghouls who don't like Set's brutality. While Set abhors a peaceful attitude and they are driven literally underground, they remain ghouls. As a result, they still receive water rations, as Set does not want to see Necropolis short-handed if the ghouls have to defend it. Set kept Necropolis under his control for the next 74 years, cultivating an attitude of superiority. While other people look down on ghouls with pity, hatred, or disgust, Set sees his kind as the future, capable of surviving anywhere and surpassing the norms of endurance. Accordingly, Necropolis is not a derelict ruin, but a place where strength grows, rising out of the ashes of nuclear devastation. Accordingly, he has a dim view of regular humans. The Brotherhood of Steel are relics, easily surpassed by ghouls due to the limited scope of their vision, while the merchants of the hub are useful, but their greed and manipulations make them too unreliable. Thanks to the Watershed and still functioning infrastructure of Vault 12, Necropolis maintained its independence of the hub, at least as far as water deliveries are concerned. The water merchants tried to establish a caravan route for water, only to be rebuffed by Set, and only the Crimson Caravan managed to establish trade relations. Kerry Lee is among the few humans to have actually met Set and his ghouls, or skags in hub lingo, and lived to tell the tale. Set's necropolis is very hostile to unmutated humans for the most part. Anyone who crosses the ghouls or Set is usually killed and cannibalized. Set himself is a cannibal, usually eating his victims while singing the Happy Tummy song. Set's absolute rule came to an abrupt end in 2157 when the Unity attacked. The Master learned of Vault 12 and sent a detachment to seize it and any dwellers within. Many ghouls perished in the attack before Set managed to parley with the super mutants and explained that the ghouls were the survivors they were looking for. With their mission failed, the mutants set up an outpost at the Watershed instead to control the supply of water and ensure Set's cooperation. Some ghouls were also taken as laborers to the vats, though eventually managed to escape and return home. Set absolutely resents being used as a pawn in this manner and despises the Master, the Unity, and the super mutants. The sentiment's mutual. All of the super mutants posted at the Watershed consider him a weakling and would rather kill him and the ghouls, but orders remain. The lieutenant prefers to use Set as a human catcher instead. Set continued the policy of handing water rations out to dissidents as well, while looking for a way to wrest control of the Watershed and get rid of the mutants. He helped Talius fight the mutants before the Dweller was captured, garnering his respect. The mutants remain unaware of Set's role in the fighting, and the ghoul leader continues to scheme to get rid of them. Set is still seen as a leader by ghouls living on the surface. The zombies gang in particular looks up to him due to his apparent control of the water supply and guns, and aspires to join his guard detail. Set keeps at least a dozen guards, with 2 at his side at any one time, and another 10 on call, to be called in seconds. Set doesn't directly control glowing ones inhabiting Vault 12, and several are indeed caged in his Hall of the Dead, due to them lashing out at their fellow ghouls whenever they go down into the vault, but will expand his control to control the water purification process when possible. The underground ghoul Set despises fear what Set's actions may bring down on all the Necropolis ghouls. Set is a total bastard, described as such even by his own son. He is short-tempered, foul-mouthed, and utterly ruthless, especially to regular humans. Apart from the aforementioned belief in the innate superiority of ghouls, he abhors pacifism or a generally peaceful disposition, and being in power has only corrupted him further. He also hates weakness in general, and that includes ghouls. Any ghoul that can't stop a regular human deserves to be killed. After he was reduced to the role of a figurehead by the mutants, he also developed a paranoid attitude, willing to kill anyone he suspects of being the Master's spy or assassin. For the same reason, he doesn't talk to his ghouls about killing mutants. While he will give the job in a face-to-face meeting, he will not tell ghouls to open the way for anyone he asks to kill the mutants, and if they get killed, it's their own fault for being weak. Set himself projects an appearance of strength and confidence, embracing the rumors about ghouls being bloodthirsty, cannibal mutants. He plays up these aspects and is brave to the point of bravado, his contempt for normies playing a significant role and allowing him to shrug off attempts at intimidation. He has a limited sense of humor. Joking about his appearance gets a pass once. Anyone trying to be funny on repeated occasions finds themselves juiced by Set and his elites. He does look out for his ghouls as well, in particular where their survival is concerned. Anyone stealing the water chip that provides water for Necropolis is liable to be killed on the spot, unless they can provide a solution that satisfies both, such as repairing the broken Watershed pump, at Garrett's gunpoint of course, as Set does not trust. The only person who does genuinely intimidate Set is the Master. While he won't say it openly, claiming to be the sole ruler of Necropolis, he realizes that the Unity shadows the wasteland and became so strong that it is hardly possible to contain, not by the CIDs of the hub, the ghouls, anyone. Set dislikes the Master's duplicity, preferring honest dealings. Harry is the leader of the super mutants protecting and controlling the Watershed in Necropolis. He is also a spy, keeping a close eye on Set for the lieutenant. He is on alert for any normals, whom he will try to capture and take to his boss. Harry is a mind-numbingly stupid super mutant, He appears as most super mutants do, with a large leather strap holding his upper lip in place, and like the other mutants, was dipped in the large vats of toxic FEV. Judging by his overall lack of intelligence, he was probably one of the unlucky humans who already had a high radiation count and lost a portion of their brain mass during the transformation. He is part of a small squad of mutants that the Master sent to the Necropolis Watershed. These mutants were to assume the role of guarding Set and his ghoul minions for the time being. Their orders were to stay dormant until the Master gave the order to attack the ghouls and take the city's water. This would be a strategic move to kill off the remaining ghouls and acquire a steady supply of water to use in the name of the Unity. If the Vault Dweller decides not to destroy the super mutants at the Watershed for Set, Harry and his group later move into the Hall of the Dead and slaughter the ghouls after March 25th, 2162.